3, 2, 1.
I was working at my desk and I seen part of Carlos's cabinet starting to fall over.
Tutu was the first one at the scene, but I was there, like I was about maybe 20 steps away from him, and I heard a piece of wood fall. And then that's when I looked over and I saw Carlos on the ground. And when I ran over, I looked at him and he was all stiff and tensed up, and I knew he was having a seizure. So I was expecting him just to wake up and then that was it. Then all of a sudden he started gasping like a fish. And then when that happened, all I thought was the video that David showed us with that guy gasping like for air. And then when that happened, I just started doing the CPR on him. I did it for about not even 10 seconds, and that's when Dennis came over and took over.
While I was having a conversation with the shipper receiver at the doors back there, I started to hear yelling and screaming. And I looked over to my right, and they were waving me down and telling me to come over here. Somebody, there was obviously something going on. By the time I got down there, all I could see was Carlos on the floor, unconscious. His feet were just shaking. His color was blue and purple. There was blood coming from his mouth.
It didn't look like he was breathing, and he was like, his feet were going and his whole body was shaking and his eyes were like kind of rolling in the back of his head.
When I saw him gasp, right, and from what I remember from the video from the training, he's clinically dead. So the first thing I did was, I gotta start CPR. So I did that, right, and thankfully Dennis did come over and help me out.
Because of having the training that we did have, I was able to take action immediately and take charge with the help of others that were there with me.
Carlos' body just went limp, and I got really, really scared, and that's when Dennis was like just really pounding on him.
First, what we do is literally, look at him directly, call out his name, slap your hands, get some sort of reaction from him. Nothing, absolutely nothing. We then proceeded to look for a raise in the chest or the abdomen of any kind of breathing. There was no breathing. Then we immediately started to administer CPR. Literally right over the chest cavity, and of course with your two hands pressed down, and you start to forcefully, as hard as you can, pump as hard as you can, and continue to do so until he actually came around.
And so you actually ended up breaking a rib of Carlos.
I think I broke more than one. It's very, very surreal, but your adrenaline rush that you have at that moment, and seeing, if your fellow colleague down like that, puts you into action.
It was all adrenaline. It was just a reflex of what happened, because everything happened so fast, but it seems like time was standing still. Everything happened so fast, there was no time to think. It was just react, and that's basically what I did.
It must have felt like seconds were lasting minutes or hours.
Yeah, it seemed like an eternity, and then when he finally opened his eyes, I was like, it's just like I just felt relief. He almost died on me.
I didn't stop until he actually opened his eyes, took a gasping breath, and then kind of, stayed there with him and made sure that everything was all right.
And so Carlos comes to.
Yes.
What do those initial seconds feel like for you?
Relief. There's a sense of joy and relief that you'll never feel in any other kind of aspect that may happen to you in your life. To know that someone was gone, but you know, with the training that we had, you're able to bring somebody back. And that feeling, it's just unexplainable. He was clinically dead. And, you know, if we had not administered CPR to him, he would not have come back.
Did you surprise yourself with how you reacted?
I did, and I was surprised because I'm usually the guy that's kind of scared of those things, right? But the fact that I was there and I recognized what was happening and I started CPR kind of did surprise me.
What does it feel like to break another person's rib?
Shocking at first, but in the training was basically told to us that this will happen. And this has to happen in order to get the heart to come back. It catches you, but you know that you can't stop. You have to continue doing it and doing it and doing it until you can get some sort of reaction from it.
And so what sticks with you from that experience?
The training that we had, right? And then it just comes as a second nature when everything happened, right? Because you don't think about it. You don't have time to think about it.
And have you spoken with Carlos since?
Yes, and they're very thankful and elated.
The first thing he did was give me a big hug and said thank you. We're just glad that he's, you know, up and about, you know, being with his family.
What would you say to someone who has not been trained in CPR?
They need to really take this course because you never know when you're gonna need it and you could potentially save a life. So that's what we did with Carlos. We saved his life.
And so if someone were to say to you, I don't know CPR and what's the point in taking a course, what would you say to them?
Knowledge is power, because you know, even though you're not subconsciously thinking about it, it's there, right? You know it's there.
If you were to hear from someone else, CPR, it's not gonna happen, I don't need it, what would you say to that person?
You're wrong. You need to do this. I could show you why. That man I've worked with for 15 years is back there and he's alive. It makes you feel good to know what to do if you have to do it. You never expect that you're going to have to be in this kind of a situation or have to react. But it's comforting to know that you have had the training. If this is to happen, you know what to do. To this day, I even say it, you know, I hope it doesn't happen again. But if it does, I'll know what to do.
Hello, my name is Dominic Montemuro, and I'm one of the principals at Medigroup Incorporated. Through our clients' efforts when they created the Mikey network, Heathwood Homes facilitated us in acquiring 2 defibrillators. Through the great training of the people from Heaven Can Wait, we were able to train our entire staff, who 8 days after training, we actually saved one of our staff's lives. I can't tell you how important the training is. I can't tell you how important the defibrillators are. Do yourselves a favor, do your staffs a favor, acquire a defibrillator, get training, and really, Heaven Can Wait.